Welcome back to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I'm Amanda, and we have a very, very, very special guest with us today, Olivia Sway.
Hi, everyone. I'm here doing press because I mean, I don't know if you guys saw my Deadline or my Variety article.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
Yeah, you got on a big show.
I got on a huge show, reoccurring.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The show is called Cops.
My dream, but I'll
just
let
wrapped.
that go.
You just
We
wrapped.
just wrapped the last season.
Did you?
How
long
many
did
episodes?
You shoot for?
How many episodes did you do?
I was in 20 out of 80
That's
episodes.
crazy. So
Yeah.
you really were repeating quite a bit.
Yeah,
there.
we're shooting about like 10 episodes a day.
That's exhausting.
That's amazing.
Not when you love it. It's not exhausting when work is your passion.
What
agree.
what was lunch like on those days?
Just like local 7-Eleven
Corned beef.
boiled eggs.
Just roast beef sandwiches.
A lot of boiled eggs.
Wow.
And a lot of rock star energy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
For those listening, Olivia's makeup today is on point. I just want to say.
It's in its pre-stages.
No, it's at its final stage.
Oh, it's at its final stage? All right, great. I think Cops has changed you.
I'm famous now, so
It's it's an honor to have you here.
It's an honor.
Of course.
Acclaimed performer Olivia Sway.
I'm doing, after this, I'll be doing press at Crackle.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do Fallon tonight.
Wow, that's.
I don't know what
great.
any of those are, and that sounds
You're
awesome.
gonna have to fly to New York for Fallon. That's,
Oh, Fallon, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I love that it's just last
you're
name
gonna go
only.
there and do YouTube challenges.
Right, and then immediately I'm flying to Kensington Palace.
You could probably actually
Okay,
get in.
Miss, I don't know Harambe.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That happened about a month ago.
That happened
as
about
of
a month
this
ago.
Airing, pretty incredible. That was the internet was taken by storm.
Yeah.
By you not knowing Harambe.
I genuinely didn't know, and friends from home were like, it was so, your reaction was so genuine, like that is you, like kind of laughing in a way of like, what? And then like getting immediately into action of like a plan. Do you know how much research I did after that episode of what happened, of why it happened, of where the kid is?
Yeah.
Where's the kid?
Don't know.
Well, first of all, because I wasn't expecting that conversation to come up when we talked about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched the video in like 8 years. So when I was talking about it, I was just like, oh, yeah, the gorilla was looking at him. I did forget that Harambe did drag the kid around.
Yeah.
So there was some justification there, but still,
Don't even get me started.
it was insane. To me, it was just insane that you just didn't know about it.
I had no idea. And I asked my friend from home, and she didn't know either, and she was horrified. But my sister knew.
Well, of course, your sister is a gamer.
My
If
sister
you're
was
online
like,
at all, you know
Amanda,
about Harambe.
How did you miss Harambe?
I also forgot, Olivia, you were mentioning this morning how you found out about Harambe.
Well, it was a confusing time for me.
Okay.
Pre-cops. Different
Pre-cops,
person.
I don't remember who I was
Yeah, this is 2016.
pre-fame. 2016?
This was 2016. 'cause
I've always, like-
You said that you found out about him.
Yeah, I was hearing people talk about Harambe. I didn't really know what was happening, and people kept making jokes. And then I started actually understanding the scope of the story when during the election, when people were writing Harambe on the...
He got the 4th most votes that year.
I guess I didn't vote that year. because I guess I missed that.
No,
it's
he's
easy
not on
to
the
miss.
ballot.
He wasn't on the ballot. He was a write-in.
Wait, it's Harambe is a male?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, he was a silverback
Well,
gorilla.
Kiana, silverback gorilla also could be female.
I don't think, I'm not a biologist, but I don't think so.
Stop.
We're just YouTubers.
Look,
Oh my God,
man,
I thought
I'm
the
just
whole
a
thing was sad
stupid
that
thing.
I thought people were like, oh, like Harambe just thought that kid was her child.
No.
Am I talking about a different?
There was a different one back in the day, back in the 90s.
don't even get me
No,
going.
back in the 90s,
Oh,
there was
yes.
another kid who fell into a gorilla pit,
Yes.
and a female gorilla came up and like protected him
Yes.
and took care of him and kept the
Yes.
other gorillas away.
Yes.
And then they were able to get the kid out.
Yeah. See.
That also happened. Kids need to stop jumping into the gorilla pit.
How did they even get in there? That's where my thought was, is like, how did that kid even get into
I feel
gorilla
justified.
pit?
Okay, people might hate me for this. I feel justified in calling these kids stupid because I remember in the 90s when that kid fell into the gorilla pit, I was like 7 years old. And I remember me at 7 being like, that kid's dumb. I'm 7 years old and I would never jump in a gorilla pit. I feel like you learn pretty early on in life that gorillas can kill you.
Why would you ever want to go? What would cause you to go into?
But I also know, because I was also this type of thinker, and I still am. When you're standing there, a lot of those enclosures at the zoo are not blocking you from getting in.
Yeah.
You could hop in if you wanted, but there's a gigantic, dangerous animal in there. So I would have the intrusive thought of like, I could hop in there, but I'm obviously not going to do it.
Yeah.
But twice now, in the past 30 years, kids have jumped in the gorilla pit.
Well,
Stop.
I've been getting a lot of messages that keep saying "dicks out" for Harambe.
Yes, that was a big move.
Yeah, what is
I
that?
had to really
That was
research.
it was just a meme. I think it started on Vine, just like dicks out for Harambe.
Tits out for Harambe.
I would love to see some people get into like an aquarium.
Oh, that happened recently, like a couple months ago.
What?
That happened at a Bass Pro Shop. A guy jumped.
That's not an aquarium.
It was
Yeah,
a big, gigantic tank. Bass Pro Shops are gigantic, and he jumped in like the big fountain tank naked, and then he leapt out of it and fell like it was like 15 feet. He fell and
Oh my God.
got f***ed up, and the cops show up and arrested him.
I've never been to a bass shop.
Is this a trick?
I'm not lying
is
to you.
crazy.
This really happened.
Why did he want to go in naked?
I don't know. Either he was really drunk or
like,
he was having a mental breakdown.
I'm a
But
merman.
this guy jumped in fully naked into the tank at a Bass Pro Shop. That happened this year.
Did he?
We were there.
No, he jumped
we were
out.
There.
He jumped out, fell out very awkwardly, landed on his ass, probably broke some bones, and the cop showed up and just aggressively arrested
The
him.
cops showed up.
Yep, it was probably going to be on cops.
Well, I was the streaker.
You were the naked man who
That
fell
was-
clumsily on his ass after jumping into the fountain.
Hey,
Oh, the
listen.
fall was brutal. He got out of the tank in the worst possible way.
No.
Do you want to know a dream of mine is? So the aquarium in Boston, you can actually scuba dive in it.
That's cool.
You can like and I've wanted to do it forever and have yet to do it.
Okay,
So,
well, let's make it happen.
Pretty cool.
In
bucket
Boston?
list. Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Like, you
you know
can
that
put
you
it.
could also scuba dive in the ocean?
Yeah. And I can do that.
You can honestly.
Not in the aquarium. Can you imagine being underwater seeing people and fish? I don't mean to be funny. I genuinely
Just love that phrase. Can you imagine scuba diving and seeing people? Like,
and fish?
and fish?
I think I'm that dumb kid. But I didn't go into the gorilla pit.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
But yeah, I think that's maybe where you got confused because did you remember the one in the 90s, the gorilla in the 90s?
No, 0%.
Oh man. I love these gorilla stories when they happen. They're
I think
mypeople.com.
Where do I find these gorilla stories?
Oh, why is people.com not covering the gorilla stories?
Because they're people.com want a
What's
little bit of flash
people.com?
and glamour.
You don't know people.com?
Like People Magazine?
Yeah.
Why are you getting your news from
We
people.com?
can't go down this
This is
road.
a valid question, Olivia.
We cannot go
You're
down
just
this
on
road.
people.com?
Amanda is on people.com.
I've been
No,
validated.
you are?
Yes.
You're kidding.
I would love to be on it as a correspondent, but I'm not. I am just a
She gave
reader.
up being a news reporter years
Wait,
ago.
isn't that
Yeah.
like a tabloid magazine?
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
you-
but they're the top.
But you get your news from it?
Yes, correct.
Why?
Well, because they're incredible. They figured out that two whales were having sex and they were both men, and that was really cool. That was a really cool story.
So they are covering some animal stories.
Oh yeah, they love animals, but as long as it has like a
A positive.
They're not
a
people.
positive. That's true.
I never thought of it. I never thought
I
of
never
it
thought of it like that. Wow, good thing you're on Cops because you just investigated so much truth.
I know.
You just blew up my world. Wow. You really are on Cops.
Guys, whales are not people. I can't make fun of you too much, Amanda.
Yes, you can.
No, because we're about to talk about today what I do, where I get a lot of my news, unfortunately.
Yeah. On
The theme of this episode that we haven't addressed yet is all about Reddit. We're talking about
Yikes.
what?
What was that?
Sorry.
Okay, so we know
She had a moment.
we know that Amanda, you are not very online.
But I do know that the Harambe clip went on Reddit.
Oh, of course.
And it was like top
Yes.
on Reddit.
So before we get into talking about, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite subreddits, some weird subreddits, some of the weirdest subreddits there are. There is a subreddit called R Funny. It's just funny
I've
stuff.
seen that.
And the clip of you not knowing Harambe got on there, and it's at like 60,000 upvotes,
Oh my
which
God.
is extreme for Reddit.
Great. My fame is...
You're famous on Reddit. I can't think of another time when Smosh made it onto the front page of Reddit besides Ian and Anthony's announcement.
Wow.
Like
and then
clips, like funny clips of ours never make it onto Reddit.
And I love the title. That's amazing. I love the title that said YouTuber finds out about major life event or like major event.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, a lot of people are sending me messages from home. Mm-hmm. And they're basically saying, how did you not know about Harambe?
It is embarrassing.
Well,
I have a question.
great.
Yeah, what's up, Olivia?
But like, why does Reddit look like that?
What do you mean?
It is very confusing.
It is confusing at
I
first.
agree.
I agree. It's confusing at first, and then you start to
Because I'm getting that confused with this other thing called Quora.
Quora. I don't think I know Quora.
Quora is like when you ask like, should my feet look like this? And then there's like a bunch of people going like, yes. No.
Oh.
Anyways,
Reddit has those corners too.
how do you navigate Reddit? Like,
What about AskJeeves.com?
oh, I love Jeeves.
So the way I can describe Reddit in a way, I think Reddit is just a collection of a bunch of communities. It's just forums where you go to these different forums and you can make posts, and comment on other people's posts. There is a community for everything. So anything you're into,
True crime web sleuths?
absolutely.
Done.
There are probably 1 million true crime subreddits.
Well, they
And also probably subreddits. They get so specific. I guarantee you, there's a Gypsy Rose subreddit.
Oh,
100%.
of course there is.
There's one for every crime that's ever been committed. There's one for every
The
case.
Golden
Oh,
State
wow.
Killer, 2 of the web sleuths helped her out during the Golden State Killer
Yeah.
when they were finding her.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was aspects of Reddit that are involved. There's small things like if you're into making bread, there's Breadit, where it's a subreddit where people post the bread that they're making or ask questions about bread. Very specific things. There's fashion advice for men and women.
and you're just chatting with people you
People
don't
just post. They post questions.
know? Can you talk? Can you have a conversation?
Yeah, so if you post a question, then people can comment and then you can respond. Then the whole conversation threads.
But everyone sees it though.
Yeah.
Can you have private messages?
I think there are private messages on Reddit. I don't private message anyone because I'm just a lurker. I don't. I've
He
never
lurks. He
I've
loiters.
never posted on Reddit.
Me
I
neither.
just read a bunch on Reddit.
Me neither.
But I think you can private message, and then but people have these public conversations. But an aspect of Reddit that people like is that it's anonymous. Like it's nobody
They don't
can
know who
tell
you are.
who you are. One of my favorite stories about Reddit back in 2016. Also, did you
Big year.
Big year.
Did you know the meme of Ken Bone,
Yes, Ken Bone, red sweater guy.
red sweater guy? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's okay. This one's not as big as Harambe.
No, I didn't know.
SNL did a parody.
But there
Oh,
was,
okay.
So there was
Explain it.
one of the debates between Hillary and Donald Trump. There was a guy who asked a question. His name was Ken Bone. He was just this kind of like, he almost looked like a Pixar character. Just this kind of like sweet guy
Okay, this
in
is sounding
a
familiar.
red sweater, bald guy. And he asked a very like, people were just like, oh, what a great question for both candidates. This guy truly is an undecided voter. And he's just a very open-minded guy. And people just kind of fell in love with him because he just had this like
Ken Bone.
wholesome charm to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually posts, there's a subreddit called Ask Me Anything, where people can go on there and be like, ask me anything. We should do one sometime.
Yeah.
He went and did an AMA, and he had a Reddit account that he used for this. And he was like, hi, I'm Ken Bone. Ask me anything. So people are asking questions. It's very sweet. But then because he did this post, people were able to know, oh, this is Ken Bone's Reddit account. And they went back and looked at all of his previous posts. And then the whole facade of this wholesome, sweet guy comes down because he had commented on pregnant porn subreddits a lot.
People love pregnant women.
And there was one quote. There was one quote specifically that I very much recall, where there was a scene where two women are in a pool, and he commented, "Wow, two beautiful submarines." Now, that's not that's not what really tarnished him.
Fun.
That's not what really tarnished him. He also had other comments on more serious shit that people were like, "Oh, so his whole wholesome thing." I don't want to get into that here because I want to, but like, it was just like his whole thing was like revealed.
Is pregnant porn a real thing?
Yes.
Do you watch it?
No, but I know of it because I truly knew of it because of Ken Bone.
Wait, are they actually pregnant?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Whoa.
Look,
The submarine quote is kind of like,
it's kind of funny.
It's kind of fun.
It's kind of funny. I would say that's not what got him like canceled. He had some other comments. He had other posts and stuff. Same thing kind of happened with Simu Liu from Shang-Chi, that actor. He also had his Reddit account kind of revealed, and he had some like kind of like edgy bro comments from like 10 years ago.
Dude, Reddit. See, this is the thing. With people, I can just be a literal lurker.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. Whereas like Reddit, if you started to post, Shayne, then you would have a trail.
Right.
Post
Cora,
on people, right?
But then you never reveal your
No.
Reddit account.
No, you can do like reviews on the bottom of the article.
I can?
No, maybe you can't.
I don't think I can because I have a lot of reviews like pent up, ready to go.
It sounds very similar to Reddit, but
People?
Doesn't. We don't
No,
talk
it doesn't.
about pregnancy porn.
okay. Reddit has everything. Like I said, there is everything on Reddit. Everything.
It's scary.
And that includes porn. Like
There's porn on Reddit?
Yes, there is.
Here's the thing.
What?
I was listening to, I think I told you this, the people who created Reddit back in the day.
Yeah.
They started in college, and it kind of, you know how Reddit became the Wild Wild West? They are actively trying to organize it. And I saw on our Harambe post that they made an announcement like no hate speech or whatever. Like they are actively trying to rein in the Wild West.
It's also a very controversial thing right now because they are trying to make it profitable for them. But what's great about Reddit is that it's like this free place for people. They a big thing was that they banned third-party apps.
Yes.
And that's big because there's a lot of people, with disabilities where it makes it easier for them to access Reddit that they're getting rid of. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
How could they make money off of Reddit?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're trying to figure out ways, but it also makes Reddit not as appealing in the process of doing it. And as we've seen with other apps over the years, like it's often like what kills them. Like that's what happened with Vine back in the day. It was like they were trying to find ways to make it profitable and ended up collapsing.
Keep it free. But I will say it has gotten wild.
On Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh, Reddit has.
It's always been wild.
Reddit has some
Yes.
absolutely toxic communities on it.
I mean,
I'll bring up.
Bros?
I'll bring up some Passport Bros.
What's Passport Bros?
Oh,
That's
Watch Reddit.
on Reddit stories. Yeah, you'll see it there. But I'll bring up some others in a little bit. So before I begin, let's hop into Reddit.
Ew, this is so gross. Fedoras are not your, no.
For those listening, I'm wearing a fedora. And I think, frankly, I look pretty good.
No. It's a gray, light gray fedora, like an IKEA couch with a satin black, like extra, like it just looks, no. You look like you're in the theater company from back in the day.
Oh, no.
And you're like, I got the lead again.
Oh, God.
I hate it so much.
It's giving a little Sinatra.
It's not
giving Sinatra
It's
at all.
Sinatra.
It's giving a little Neo.
Oh, my God. Neo.
Okay, fine. You can take Neo. That's fine. You can have Neo. Wait, put it back on. Yes, there we go.
There we go.
right.
There's Neo.
There's Neo.
Let's talk about Reddit. Okay. What if I started having to wear this for every Reddit stories?
should.
How fast would views plummet, do you think?
I think that they would go up.
I think they would
Skyrocket?
go up, yeah.
Let's do it.
Because-
I'll do it.
You're who memed at cowboy outfit.
I just don't know if the producers would let me do it. I feel like Kiana would also be like, can't.
I'll write Kiana a letter. It's fine.
We'll write Kiana a handwritten letter. Okay. So there's a bunch of subreddits here. I just threw a bunch on here. I'm going to go through a bunch. Let's start with something very tame. Right?
Okay.
A very normal subreddit. I like this subreddit a lot. And it's just life pro tips. People post like pro tips that they're like, hey, this helped me in my life a ton.
That's so nice that people are out there doing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of also super wholesome Reddits.
That's so sweet.
So when you so it's going to be when it's a subreddit, it's like
That's a specific community.
different. Okay, got
So
it.
if you clicked on that community, you would go there and you would only see posts that are related to that. And if you curate your own Reddit account, you can have a homepage that's only the stuff you want to see.
Oh.
So Reddit can be very different for everyone.
Got it.
Now, life pro tips. Here's a couple examples. Here's a post. Life pro tip. Professional house cleaning is cheaper than you think and can relieve stress in your relationship. Depending on your lifestyle, twice a month may be enough to keep your living space clean enough. This can offload chore burden as well as the resentment burden in many relationships. A cleaning session can run between $80 to $150 depending on the size of space. Completely worth it in the long term.
I 100% agree with that. I was just saying that it would be so nice to just have someone come in and help, like once in a while.
But that's a life pro tip,
That's
right?
great.
If you want that or not. Another one, life pro tip, never lend money if you wouldn't be comfortable considering it a gift. There's always a very real chance you won't get it back, and you need to be okay with losing that sum.
Yep.
That is true.
Yep, that
Yep.
is true.
That's every day. People are just posting life pro tips for each other, and then they talk about it underneath. But those were two that I found like from this past week.
I love that.
Great.
And then there's always offshoots of every subreddit. So you have life pro tips. Now you have unethical life pro tips. And I found a good one from this week. Unethical life pro tip. If you have to fart on an airplane, wait until they're serving the in-flight meals and everyone is opening them up. People around you will just think the food smells a bit farty and they won't suspect you.
What year is this? We don't get meals anymore.
In-flight meals, if it's a long trip, international, you're flying like
international.
if it's like a 5-hour trip, you typically get an in-flight meal.
That is
That
crazy.
is genius.
It's super smart though. It's unethical. I mean, it's not unethical.
It's just
like,
disgusting.
So gross.
what are you gonna
Ew.
The moment the food opens, you just let one rip.
Ew.
do? Okay, I feel like I
Ew.
can say this because I'm wearing a fedora. What are you gonna do on a plane? Hold your farts for 5 hours?
Go to the bathroom, shut
You
the
go
door.
to the bathroom to fart?
Fart and flush it. Yeah.
Wait, you guys, this is a pro tip though. You guys know when you're flushing the toilet in the bathroom, you should close the lid.
No.
Oh, I close the lid when I flush.
What?
No.
One of our
Why?
because it.
It sprays back at you, and especially in that.
I've never
tiny
experienced spray.
you can't see it.
I can't see the spray.
I've heard this. I don't. Yeah, I've heard that it's good to close it before you.
It's
flush.
definitely like yeah.
But one of our toilets here doesn't have a lid. Actually, I don't think.
But we're not
None of
on
them
an
have lids.
airplane.
No,
we're not on
she's
an
talking about
airplane.
specifically on an
specifically the
airplane.
airplane?
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
he's
it's
never closed the lid.
Because it's turbulent and stuff?
No,
Look at him.
that and like the way it just like sucks it
Oh,
up. There's a lot
'cause-
of things that could come out.
The toilets in airplanes always scare me a little bit because you
Yeah.
press it and it doesn't flush immediately, and then suddenly just like
Yeah, yeah, and it just sucks.
I always think when I have AirPods in that they're gonna fall in. Wait, I have to close the lid
yeah,
on airplane
you should.
toilets?
Yes, you should.
I've never once done that.
Oh, that's okay. You're okay.
means
just
I'm covered
you're
in
just covered in
shit.
shit.
It's disgusting when you
Well-
think about it.
Well-
That space is so tiny. It's just like particles floating around in there.
Shayne, do you close the lid?
I
I don't trust you. with
I
that hat on.
also for some reason I hate to use the bathroom on a plane.
Me too.
I try to.
What?
Well, I also like to sit next to the window.
Oh,
and
that's...
I hate like inconveniencing other people. So if I sit next to the window, and I don't want to make people get up.
You're crazy, man.
Do you love to
I'm
use
a
the bathroom
gentleman.
on an airplane?
I love using the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom like every hour.
I love. The
I'm in
bathroom.
aisle only. Are you kidding me? I have such long legs. When I sit for a long time, they ache.
Yeah.
So I get up and I'm like, this is an adventure. And then I go to the bathroom and I come back and I have to sit in the aisle because I get really claustrophobic. I don't like the window.
Oh yeah, I know that.
But also, like, the window makes me feel very stressed out.
Oh, I love the.
I love the window because I like to lay my head in like the crevice.
I love to look at shit.
So what if you have to really, really pee? You're not going to inconvenience?
I will if I have to really pee. Yeah, I'll get up and do.
I
it.
prefer to pee in a cup usually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I hate entering a public bathroom.
That's so much
I
better.
really do hate public bathrooms.
Because
Oh,
if
I
I
do
go
too.
into one, I have to go home and take a full shower and wash my hair.
But you don't touch your butt to the seat. You just
No.
No, you grip on for dear life and do a squat.
Yes,
can't.
100%.
I can't. I have to make contact. If it's
What? You have to sit?
if unless I'm just going to use a urinal, yeah, I have to.
You don't need to sit. You don't need to. I'm telling you, Shayne, you can squat.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I don't.
You know what's
I don't have the
crazy?
flexibility.
No, it's not about that. You can squat.
You can squat.
You can hold on to the
I don't
walls.
think I can.
Gotta work on your flexibility. Also, one eye is in the dark right now. From your
I know.
hat.
I'm mysterious.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really giving double indemnity
Nice.
Nice.
in a bad way.
There's also shitty life pro tips.
Oh, I love that title.
Bad. This kind of connects to what we're talking about.
Yeah, shitty.
Pro tip: wash your hands many times in a row so you won't have to later.
No.
Absolutely not.
Definitely don't do that.
That literally doesn't make any sense.
Then it succeeded. It's a shitty life pro tip.
Oh, okay.
Another one. I think this is actually a good pro tip, but
just
it's
for
just shitty.
Okay.
In the event of a tornado or other such natural disaster, place wieners and/or cheese slices in your pockets so the search dogs will find you first.
Wait.
That's actually amazing. But
That's
who
a-
has wieners and cheese sticks on the
Well,
reg?
just have wieners
Wait,
and
I don't get it.
cheese sticks. Like, you know, if a major earthquake were to happen, quickly grab some wieners and put them in your pockets,
Okay. Yeah.
so that you're stuck under rubble. The search dogs are going to find
Yeah.
you
I do.
because they want some.
I love that
Holy
pro tip.
crap.
It's kind of dark, but I love it.
Okay, but where am I going to get that?
get it.
Store.
No. But like, if it's happening right now,
Oh,
I can't
always
go.
have a
Well,
backup.
yeah, you just need to probably have the wieners like on you at all times.
Wait, this is like.
Just have a hot dog in your pocket always.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
down.
is always good because then if you get stranded somewhere, you have a little snack.
Yeah.
Yes, and hot dogs are so like cylindrical and slim.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that you could probably still see it through your pants.
So you know what? Why
Which
don't we
is
just
also
get?
cool to
I
impress people.
No,
Slim
not for me. Not for me.
This guy does that.
He just comes in with 6 wieners. We're all like, that doesn't
Ladies?
look right.
No, I think I'm gonna just always keep a little Slim Jim in my pocket.
Smart.
I think it is smart. I think from this day on, right now, I'm telling you, I'm actually gonna go.
We're
do
gonna
this.
hold you to that in the next in a video at some point, Olivia. I'm gonna just ask you if you have a Slim Jim in your pocket.
No,
if you don't, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Guys, I have a pair of jeans. Right? There's
That's
two.
good.
That's crazy.
I know. This part is crazier. There are 2 packets of Taco Bell hot sauce in my left pocket. It's been in there for 7 months.
That makes me sick.
Why don't
Why?
you?
What if you sit on it? It
No,
explodes.
no.
The front pocket.
That's the exciting part. That is the exciting part because it hasn't yet, and it will one day, but it hasn't. So that's exciting.
You want it to happen.
No, I don't want it to happen, but I just know that it could happen very soon because it's very wrinkly and it is very warm. It is in there. There's 2.
Please don't use
You're
it.
never gonna use them.
No, I think I just love that it's in there. And I think in 20 years, I can look back and I'm like, wow, this is my 2 hot sauce packets from 2023.
This is Olivia's adrenaline rush.
I think so.
It's exciting, you know?
It sounds exciting, but I feel like I would think about it all the time.
I would be always worried.
Yeah,
But
Why?
maybe you like that.
You like
Is
being-
that why you don't sit on any seats?
Oh, you know what's interesting? Okay, so the thing is, those jeans are in my closet right now, being pressed with a bunch of other pants. So it could be completely.
So that means you haven't washed your jeans in 7 months.
I have a lot of jeans.
Okay.
I don't really need to wear that pair.
When was
You just love knowing that it's in there with
Yeah.
hot sauce in it.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned something new every
no?
day.
We all.
It's like things like that. Like I'll keep spoons and packets of other sauces in my bag. I have a lot of stuff in my purse.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite. When I know it's in there, I'm like,
I gotta
I
get.
gotta clean it out.
Oh
I don't.
no! I also have little candies in my purse that's over a year old, and it's melting.
Actually, I do believe this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hey, look, if it brings you joy, I can't hate.
It's not necessarily joy. It's just
I
like
think it's just something that she needs to do. Can my late?
so Slim Jims. Starting from today, I'm gonna
Got
have
it.
Slim Jims.
This is great. You know what? There's weird things that bring us joy in life, and I think that brings us to some of our next subreddits. There's a subreddit called Bread Stapled to Trees,
I don't like this
where
already.
people staple bread
to trees.
Why?
They take photos of it and then they share it with each other.
Why do we keep hurting
so
trees?
It's kind of like
And
this.
bread.
Take a look. That's the type of stuff we're looking at here.
That's a good slice of bread.
Yeah, just people stapling
great
bread to
picture.
trees, having a good time.
Oh, so birds can eat it.
Sure. I don't think that's their intention. But I don't know the full depth of this community. So maybe people can comment down below, if they are part of this community, what the purpose is.
Yeah. Why?
But they just staple bread to trees and they have fun with it. Another one that's similar, and I really love this one. This is a community called Long Furbies.
What is it? What's the first word?
Long Furbies.
Long?
And people make long Furbies. And they're actually kind of incredible. People love to modify their Furbies.
Wait, how did they
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow, that's
make it?
beautiful.
Artistry.
Wait, I actually love that. I was obsessed with Furbies.
Long Furbies
cute.
is really incredible.
That picture is
I know.
I love that.
I know. No, she's
The hands.
if I think she's serving.
She is serving, and she.
You know what would be great is going to an art show where there's all long Furbies everywhere.
Maybe they have that. I'm sure.
Yeah,
they
for
do.
those listening, they take a Furby head and they make it so that the Furby is more of a snake or like a sandworm from Dune. That's really what these look like. The second Furby we showed has arms, like full-on arms.
It's cute.
On a seat, sitting down, big ears. Some might say they're terrifying, but I think
I love people. People are so
they're really fun.
fascinating and interesting.
No, and so many subreddits are very fun.
Not all people.
It's true. You're on cops. You've seen a lot of bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another good subreddit. Our Pocket Sand. Now, this is a community of people who talk about the benefits of keeping a little bit of sand in your pocket at all times.
Sometimes I have that.
Yeah, so they have it there for possibly self-defense. So you have pocket sand for if an attacker comes up to you, you got pocket sand, you throw it in their eyes.
But wait,
And that's what everyone on this subreddit talks about. They talk about keeping pocket sand on.
Eat a lot of sand.
Well, so here's a post from it. Had to actually use my pocket sand on someone. It was 8 p.m. I was walking through a small forest in the middle of town since it was a shortcut from the track I was practicing at. A large man in a dark jacket and black beanie came up to me and asked for directions. Without hesitating, I told him where he needed to be. He then opens his jacket and shows me his pocket knife. You know the drill, he said, with a slight creepy smile. As I'm reaching for my wallet, I realized I just came back from long jumping, and there was a load of sand in my pockets from the pit we jump into. Also, I always reload there. Yeah, just a second. As I pretend to take out my wallet, I scoop up the leftover long jump sand. I withdraw it, pushing into his face and yell, "Bam, pocket sand, motherfucker!" He shouts, "Ah, my eyes! What the man?" Then I took off sprinting into the bushes.
it's out.
Thank you, pocket sand. You saved my life.
Okay,
Come on.
is this real?
Is this real?
A person posted this.
If a man in a huge jacket and a beanie had a knife and was like, you know the drill, I wouldn't be like, I reloaded and got my pocket sand. Like, I don't think my brain would go there.
No.
I'd go, you, here's my wallet. I don't know.
I would go, you know the drill. Stop, drop, and roll.
Olivia, I think if you said that, I think you would confuse them enough that you might get away.
They would walk away.
I think they would be like, you know what? Not today.
No, that's the thing. When things like that happen, you gotta like out creep them. You know,
Right.
like you want to see what's in my jacket? Ha! Nothing,
See?
bitch.
I knew.
I'm naked in here.
Olivia is the biggest creep at Smosh in the best way.
Yeah.
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 Wow, I need to get some pocket sand. I
You need to
feel
get pocket
totally
sand.
unarmed.
I know.
Well, what about pepper spray?
It's just the more efficient version of pocket sand.
Also, pepper spray is like, it's hard to carry around. You can't like have it linked to your belt walking around town.
Or like a water bottle and just and like toss it at them and be like,
You know the
"It's-"
drill. You just slowly undo it and like,
you just give them the ALS ice bucket challenge.
Just carry around a bucket of ice with you at all times.
I like the pocket sand.
So there's also a subreddit called Mirrors for Sale, which is a subreddit I think you'll love, Amanda. So this subreddit it's not a place where you sell mirrors. This is where people post photos that they find mostly on Facebook Marketplace. Whenever people are selling a mirror, they take a photo of the mirror and be like, I'm selling this mirror, and they
Look
forget that they are in the photo.
Okay.
So you have shit like this.
Okay, I would love this.
Oh.
Oh my! Does she have a cigarette in her mouth?
She's just
wrapped
sitting there
in
with a
blanket?
cigarette. She does not realize she's in that photo. You also get
Wait, this is so.
you also
good.
get stuff like this.
A part of you can't handle that picture.
So
I can't handle that picture. Do they not
Bro,
know how funny that is?
that first one, a lady just does not realize she's being seen in the mirror of this like vanity, and she is just
She's over it.
cigarette in her mouth, curled up in a blanket, just like, all right, let's sell this piece of shit. The other one's great because it's clearly the wife taking the photo, and the guy is holding the mirror, and it makes him look
like that's his body.
that's his body. It's so funny.
They need an Instagram account or TikTok account of these because
Yeah.
they're
Sure,
so.
they
Is there
have.
more?
No, those are the two that I found that are really solid, but it's a lot of that. And
What
it's
is it
so
called
good.
again?
It's called Mirrors for Sale. There's a lot of very specific, like, if you find things in real life, you post it here. Another one, I'll scroll down. So there's some other ones that are similar. One is called TV Too High, where if people in their house or if you're out somewhere and there's a TV that's just put up way too high,
Yeah.
they put it there. So, for
Stop.
instance, a guy is like, this is my friend's house.
Oh my God, that's so
And
hot.
this TV is above the fireplace, nearly touching the ceiling.
Wait,
Basically.
but guys, go to that photo. Everything is too high in that house.
Oh, you're so right.
Are they?
You're so
are they
right. Everything,
super
the
tall?
shelves are really
Look at this.
high.
Where are you gonna get that?
I know. Everything is really high in this house.
Also, look at this fake window.
I know. No, it's disturbing. If you're listening,
no.
just imagine that everything is really high. There's another one that's clearly like a DMV or something. And this TV is attached to the ceiling.
Stop.
And it's like a tiny TV. I'm like, who is that for?
Do you guys remember airplanes like when you were a kid and the TVs would come down like really,
Yeah.
really tiny, high up and so far away?
Yes.
Yep.
And you only had one movie
I
Yeah.
that
love
you could watch?
time.
Yeah, they'd
Love
be like,
that time.
we're playing Last Holiday
Yeah.
again.
Oh.
Now we get to, I would argue this is one of my top 3 favorite subreddits of all time. This one's called Awful Taste But Great Execution. This subreddit is gold. This is basically when you find things in life that poor taste, really weird, but man, did they execute. For instance,
Oh God.
snail shoes. Look at these snail
That's amazing.
like
Wait.
boots. They are I don't know how to describe this if you're listening. They are some high-heeled
They're
or not
flesh-colored.
high-heeled, but like
They're
Platforms,
stunning.
wedges, yeah.
Wait, they are stunning. You could be a snail for Halloween.
but
That's really cool.
perfectly executed. You also have this Furby tattoo.
Is it farting hearts?
No,
no,
I think
but
those
that's
are
like
just
a
wings.
that's like a lower back tattoo.
Lower back.
And also that Furby has a lower back tattoo.
I know. It's great stuff. So it's stuff like that, and I love it.
What is it? What is it called?
Awful taste, but great execution.
Okay.
Okay, you're kind of turning me on to subreddit.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
man.
I'm really into this.
Like
Yeah.
I always thought it was. I feel like I always hear about like the weird stories
We're
that are
about to
kind of
get into
nasty.
that.
Okay.
We're about to get into that. There's another one that's similar to this, and it's called you'll like this because you worked food industry. We want plates, and this is whenever people are at restaurants and they don't serve the food on a plate. You know how they a lot of times they serve food in weird types of
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And people get really tired of that.
Yes.
Here's a catering place where the salads are just out on the table.
No, you're kidding.
No.
Look at that. Just salads just out. And they must think it's like artistic.
They
or
think it's
whatever.
artistic and it looks terrible.
This one I think is all right, but cotton candy served on the top of a statue head.
How many statue heads do they need to bring out
I
to
don't
each
know.
table?
But I've been to restaurants where they do that, where it's like it's served on like a flat rock or something like that.
Except except for like a sushi boat. Then I'm like, I'll take a boat.
Yeah, but it's got to be still. There's got to be some convenience for me.
I've never ordered a sushi boat.
I never have either, but I like the idea of them.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
Just because to me, those things are sitting on a shelf gathering dust. And then you're like, let's throw the food on this sculpture.
Yeah, I know. I know. There's nothing to show, but there's a subreddit called R Amish, and there's no posts.
Is it Smosh? Spelled wrong?
No, that's really good.
Brilliant because they don't use technology.
Yeah, it's just our Amish.
That's amazing.
Here's another. This is actually the last. Or there's some more normal ones. There's our shower thoughts. People just post shower thoughts, like just interesting things to think about. For instance, sweatpants were made for physical activity, but wearing them in public makes you seem lazy.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
It depends on the sweatpant. The loose one is lazy. The tight one is...
I think the
Can't
vibe
work
has
out.
changed, but
Can't work out. It's
You can't work out in sweatpants. That's the thing.
that used to be what people did.
I love sweatpants.
I think that was
I
before.
don't.
Like,
What?
pants.
I do not like sweatpants.
I almost wore sweatpants today, but then I was like, I don't want to.
You could have. We can't see the bottom of you.
I know, but then it's just more of like a mental thing. Like, am I really going to be that comfortable?
Yeah.
Should I be that comfortable all the
I
time?
don't feel good in sweatpants.
I hate sweatpants.
I feel, what?
I hate
You guys.
sweatpants. In my house,
I hate 'em.
I'd rather wear a long dress.
Why? What?
I hate sweatpants.
I'm weird. I think I'm weird. I don't love super soft fabric.
Oh my,
Okay.
what?
You are weird.
You don't
I
like
don't love-
comfort?
I like comfort, but I don't know. I don't love super.
but
Like for
you also
instance,
don't-
like this sweatshirt that I wear all the time. It's terry cloth.
Oh, it's
I
so
don't like.
hard.
I don't like fleece. I love like terry
my
cloth. I love
God.
like.
So you don't like warm comfort and love?
No, also, I know this about Shayne. He doesn't use a blanket.
Yeah, I've had to change that a little bit over the years.
I'm
Like,
sorry?
I overheat, I think, so I like to often just lay on top of my duvet cover.
So you just sleep flat
Yep.
out in like a towel?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want to be wrapped in linen or cotton 24/7.
I hate linen. I hate linen.
Oh, I love
Linen is my favorite thing.
Linen
I would
like
wear
'cause
linen
it's
every
the
day.
in-between. It's the in-between. It's not too soft.
I would wear it every
I only wear linen
day.
in the summer.
No, I literally want to pretend like I'm on a beach 24/7.
I think
Yeah.
maybe you
Oh,
wanna
see, that's.
pretend you're
I
on a
think I
beach.
get. Yeah.
Okay, you and me get it.
No, but guys, it's not soft.
No.
No, but it's
great.
it's breathable and it's loose and it always looks good.
So wear like silk.
Silk looks great, but it shows off everything.
I cannot believe that you guys don't wear sweatpants. That's crazy.
I
Sweatpants is what
own
live
sweatpants and I
in.
just never wear them.
I own
You
one
rather
pair.
wear jeans over sweatpants?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
What about airports? Airplanes?
I wear jeans.
No.
On airplanes?
Yep.
No, I do not wear jeans on airplanes. I wear linen or I wear spandex. Like workout yoga pants.
Yeah.
I'd rather wear those
No,
than sweatpants.
I wear
no.
jeans on planes all the most of
You
the time.
Okay, well that's crazy.
Well, this brings me into the next subreddit. There's a subreddit called The 10th Dentist. The 10th Dentist is a subreddit where people post unpopular opinions that they firmly believe in. You know, it's like 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this. So what's the deal with the 10th Dentist?
Wow, people are genius with these
So
titles.
this is for really extreme unpopular opinions. I could probably post that I'm like, I like wearing jeans on airplanes. And people
Awful.
would maybe. Here we go. Here's some. I never spit out my toothpaste, and I think doing so is gross. I know the complete opposite is true. Swallowing toothpaste isn't good for you, but I've just never been able to do it for some reason. Even being in the room with someone who spits it out makes me gag and dry heave. I genuinely find it so disgusting and repulsive, I think I would throw up if I did it myself. Not sure why. Anyway, I've been swallowing toothpaste for my whole life, and I haven't had any problems.
that actually makes me want to gag. That's disgusting.
disgusting.
Someone's been swallowing a lot of
That's
toothpaste.
spit and nastiness, and you're swallowing it. All the nastiness you brush out of your
they're
teeth.
swallowing it.
That's so gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, that's the worst.
Here's
one.
another one. This one, funny for us since I'm getting into this, but someone posted, music is boring and not remotely entertaining. Just what the title says, I can never just listen to music. It's always so bland, and I just can't get any enjoyment or genuine emotion out of auditory artistry. Don't get me wrong, I've tried to listen to music. I've listened to so many different genres, and they're all so bland, and I can't remember any of it. It all just turns into big mush. I always hear people critiquing music in media, video games, movies, etc., when for me, it always fades into the background and never really offers much atmosphere on its own. I was actually genuinely surprised to see how some of these responses were. Honestly, I didn't think my opinions was that unpopular, and I'm pretty surprised to know how much music affects some people.
That is a very unpopular.
Yeah.
To me, that means that person, I feel like, hasn't connected to like a deep part of themselves, because music it's like composers, like music in film, background noise, like.
You know what makes me wonder, though, is remember we talked about this with Hank Green about how some people think in images, some people don't think in images.
That's true.
I just wonder if, like, some people, the way their imagination works, just music just doesn't do it
Yeah,
for them.
maybe it's just not
Yeah.
music.
I don't know.
That's a tough one for me to get on board with, but okay.
This last one's insane.
Oh.
This last one's the craziest one to me.
Oh my God.
Dish soap tastes good, and not fully rinsing your dishes makes the dish better. The taste of dish soap is good. I love it. I wouldn't drink it, but I rarely rinse my dishes fully. I always let them dry while still covered in a lot of bubbles. When I make food later, it mixes with the soap and makes a small bit of suds that tastes like whatever food I'm eating. I also enjoy the suds in soup and drinks. It's never to the point where I have a head of foam like beer or whatever, just some bubbles and visible suds. I have a few cups/plates, forks I don't use often because I keep them fully rinsed for guests who don't share my love of soap.
This guy's single. You imagine?
There's an edit. Honestly, after reading all the health concerns, I'm still going to eat it. It's one of the few things in life that I still enjoy, so I might as well go out with a bang. Edit number 2. Some people asked, so to answer, I like Orange Dawn soap. Edit number 3, I'd like to add proof, a video of me eating something with suds, but I feel like that borders too close on urging others to try it, which I don't necessarily want to do considering it's unhealthy. Also, there's literally a show about people eating things they shouldn't. What's so hard to believe we exist outside of TLC? Edit number 4, I appreciate the awards, guys, but don't spend money on me just because I eat soap.
Holy God! This is so one of the last things in the world that he enjoys?
Yeah, I guess.
I used to eat soap when I was a kid.
When you were a kid,
Okay, tell us
what kind of
more.
soap would you eat?
Like,
When you were in trouble?
no, you know those like round the soft whatever. What is it called? They're like this, and then you pump with the pump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Soft
soap?
Yeah, like when we were washing our hands after recess to go to lunch.
You'd go.
I remember like it was like, this other kid also did it. We just like lick our hands like this.
Wow, so it's peer pressure?
Sort of. I did a lot of weird things in kindergarten.
I think you still do a lot of weird
I believe that.
You still keep hot sauce in one of your jean pockets and you refuse to take it out. So, I don't know. You're still kind of there.
But yeah, I'm worried because there's a lot of harmful chemicals in soap.
Yeah, we need these soaps to clean the ducks who had the oil spill.
Yeah, we need to save it
Exactly.
for that.
I don't think I ever really ate soap.
But you must when you're shampooing your hair, you don't go like, nom, 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 nom.
No.
Me neither.
I thought you didn't shampoo your
Yeah,
hair.
and me neither.
I wash my hair every
Oh,
day.
yeah, you wash your hair.
Every day.
But you don't use soap on your body.
I do. Okay? I do. But wow. Sometimes
I hit a nerve.
I mean, not everyone washes their legs.
I must.
Oh, you do.
It's a whole journey.
You're different.
Oh, God.
Do you
Bringing up an
wash?
old
You
thing.
wash your. You don't.
I wash my legs.
Every day.
Yeah.
And I wash the
put
bottom of
soap?
my feet.
Yeah. I put soap and I
Put soap.
I wash the bottom of my feet.
I'm sometimes bad about washing the bottom of my feet. But I wash the top of my feet.
When I do Muay Thai, we're just without shoes or socks on pads that
Yeah. See,
people
that's
are sweaty.
disgusting.
That makes sense.
But I wash my feet every. If I'm a very clean person. Okay.
I believe you.
You are a very
You're very clean.
yeah.
I'm very clean. I just don't know about like if you're shaving your legs, you're sort of exfoliating your legs.
Yeah.
I don't shave my legs, so I don't know. I can't.
And
I
so
can't
you
relate to
so if I were you, I'd definitely have to get in there and scrub my legs.
Yeah.
that. Yeah, for sure.
But for me, I'm shaving them. And
No.
I dry brush.
But see, I also wear jeans, which
you
are
dry
thick,
brush.
and it protects me from
Nice.
the outside world. So
No, your jeans aren't protecting you, honey.
your jeans are protecting you.
Oh.
Okay, next subreddit. There's a subreddit called R Roast Me, and people post photos of themselves with it, and you have to have a piece of paper in front of you that says like R Roast Me that you have to write, so that people know it's really you, and you post a selfie of yourself and you post it on this subreddit, and then people roast you.
No,
People
I
love
hate
pain.
that. I hate that.
It's
love
always
it.
insane. It's mind blowing.
It's so sad.
This feels like torture porn.
I hate that.
People are into it.
I'm just thinking about all the things people could say about me.
Nothing, because you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna. I found some posts. I'm not gonna show them here because I don't want to like spread it. But look, I look at it sometimes, and the roasts are insane.
Like what? I have to look at them.
All right,
I have to.
I'll show you one, and I'll just show you the top roast because
It's on Reddit, so
She's beautiful.
that's the thing also. But these are Redditors who find anything. So this woman, this 20-year-old woman, posted a photo of herself
she's
saying,
gorgeous. She looks like Christina Ricci.
saying roast me. And the top comment says, I was always told I was going to end up like this if I held in a sneeze.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with these people who just want to be fucking roasted? I feel like they're in pain.
Oh my god.
I know. There is a lot.
Going.
Yeah,
there's
what else we got?
Yeah, keep going. What else?
Find another one. Hold
We
on.
can't make sense of this. We just have to read the comments.
Okay, here's another one that I have. So here's this guy. This guy posted on Reddit. He said, 26-year-old finance bro,
He's 26?
unroastable, try me. And someone said, do you puff out your neck to intimidate predators? Now, this is rough. Look, I'm not condoning this. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying this is
We
a
know
Reddit.
this is your favorite Reddit.
No, it is not my favorite Reddit. I don't look at Roast Me that often. It ends up on the front page a lot, and I will check it out.
Listen, these people actively put themselves out there to say
tough,
roast.
Yeah.
What's tough about it is, we do roasts a lot at Smosh, but because we know each other, we're able to roast like our personalities and like our lifestyles and like
We know what not to
we
touch.
do. But I never love to do jokes about like physical appearance.
No.
The problem is on Reddit, when you're posting a selfie of yourself, they don't know anything about you, so it's purely about how you look, which is so rough.
Well, these people are putting out just a photo of them. They're not putting out what they do or anything. They're literally asking to be roasted.
Yeah. I mean, they actually are.
It's
fascinating.
they probably
I could never do it.
get pleasure from it.
It
I
got
don't know.
floated around at one point years ago of like, oh, should we have one of us post on Reddit?
No.
And I actively, like aggressively was like, no, absolutely not. We should never post on that subreddit because it's just devastating. I feel devastated just watching other people go through it. I'm
Any
like,
more
oh my God.
comments?
Of course, there's a ton of comments, but I don't want to linger on that. There is another. I did want to bring up one Reddit, and this is a very toxic one. There is a subreddit called True Rate Me, and there's
True rate me.
Rate Me.
Okay.
And there's a lot of subreddits where people post where it's like, "Am I this?" Like whatever. Like rate my appearance. Rate me. And it's really sad because I'm like, don't ask the anonymous internet.
I think people have this need to like, I don't know, feel pain.
I'm like getting anxiety.
Well, I also
like,
think people want affirmation,
about
or they
this.
want affirmation about their negative feelings too.
That's not good.
True Rate Me though is toxic because for one, it's very clearly a bunch of dudes, right? So it's a biased view. But True Rate Me, they're arguing that they are judging attractiveness based on objective, like factual things. And it's very clearly not. They're like, it's based on symmetry and all this science.
It's
whatever.
just a picture. It's just one picture.
And people post a photo of themselves. And a lot of times, the ones that always get high up voted are very attractive women post on there. And you just have a bunch of dudes being like, you're a 5. And it's like,
Because they're getting out their anger
I think
on
they're
them.
getting a power trip from it.
Oh God.
And anytime dudes post like and say like, oh, you're a 9 or a 10, they get their posts removed and the mods go, like rating too high, like whatever.
No.
Who gets to remove their posts?
The mods.
Who are the mods?
Moderators of the subreddit who are also just some dudes.
Wait,
No, it's look,
my
if
God.
people want to come for me in the comments, I think it's an extremely toxic subreddit.
So toxic.
and it's stupid.
question. The moderators of the subreddit, they're the moderators of all the subreddits?
No. Every subreddit gets moderators, and it's people who just volunteer. You don't get paid. It's just a volunteer thing that you're going to moderate that subreddit. So they are people who are also part of that community.
Imagine being with a moderator.
Oh my God.
I had a tough day today. Had to take down some...
Reddit mods have a very specific stereotype to them.
Really?
It's
What?
pretty much this.
Of the fedora?
Yeah. But anyways, moving on from some of those, let's get into some weird ones.
Okay.
This is where people are just being weird. For instance, there's a subreddit called RGGGG, just 4-letter G's, and on that subreddit, everyone can only post the letter G. So it's just a bunch of posts with just G's. You can do uppercase or lowercase, just G's, and it's surprisingly active. People are posting on there.
Why?
Right?
Go outside.
G's.
Yeah.
Go
But they're having
outside.
fun posting G's.
Feel the sun on your
They're
back.
posting
Do
G's.
Make a swim in a body of
They're
water.
posting G's. Okay. Here's another subreddit. Once again, I am not condoning this. I'm just saying this is a subreddit that exists.
Yes.
There's a subreddit called Alzheimer's Group.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
And on this subreddit,
Jesus.
they only post the same Garfield comic over and over and over again.
What?
They post one Garfield comic. It's just a random Garfield comic. And so people post it and they go, I found this awesome Garfield comic. And then people just do that over and over and over again.
This is so sad.
Oh.
Shayne is struggling right now.
I'm just saying it's a subreddit that exists. There's a lot like it.
This is so sad.
I know.
So sad.
I know.
So, do you think people with Alzheimer's are going on this subreddit?
No. It's unfortunately just a joke.
Oh no.
I think it may have started as a legitimate place to discuss Alzheimer's, and then
Here's the
it
thing.
must have morphed into this.
I think joking about really serious things is okay because I think people need to figure out how to freaking handle it.
They're not.
But that is crazy.
The thing is, this is just one inside joke that just lingers for years. And I think that is funny. And there's a lot of subreddits like it.
Okay.
Right? Similar to our Amish, right? Everyone agreed, like, we're never going to post on our Amish.
That's funny.
Right.
Also funny. So there's a lot of stuff like that. There's just a lot of weird subreddits. There's another one. Dude, it's just insane. Here's one. Before we started this podcast, Olivia, we were talking about ice.
Yes.
There's a subreddit called Hydro Homies. And on this subreddit, it's just a community of dudes, people in general, who love water. And they just post photos of like their
Just dudes?
water bottles. I don't think it's just dudes.
I love water.
I think it's anyone who likes water, and they're just obsessed with water, and so they're just like hydro homies, and they love to post like their containers of water. Like if you have a big jug of water, take a photo of it, post it on Hydro Homies. It'll probably do really well.
I love this.
People just love water. But there was a post I found, and it was which ice is best, homies. And it's, you got regular cubes, the spears, the rectangular spears, the pebbles, or large.
I know you love this.
I'm a
Shayne.
large cube, man.
Yeah, I'm a large.
Wait, can I see again?
No, I like that cube.
So here's
You
the
like
thing.
small, you like regular sized ice cubes.
What are we drinking? Water?
That's
Water.
the thing.
For water.
Oh, for water? I was gonna say I love
for
them
water,
all for different
water,
things.
I think it's small cubes.
Spear,
Small cubes.
Spears
spear,
for water.
spear or cubes.
For water?
Fuck yeah.
I love water, dude.
I
I-
don't drink water.
I drink so much.
You don't drink water?
You don't drink water?
I drink like.
You are not a hydro homie.
No, I drink water. I drink lemon water in the morning, and that's
Okay.
sort of okay, and that's it.
You don't drink water for the rest of the day?
I drink like 10 to 12 cups of water a day.
That freaks me out.
I am chugging water.
Me too. I love water. It's my
I never-
favorite
no,
thing.
I don't drink a lot of water.
Honey,
I'm trying to do better.
you need to.
I know I need
If you
to. but
if you get something that
I'm gonna lose that.
okay. Let's figure out a way to get you some water.
I'm kind of thirsty right now. I haven't had any
we
water
fly in
today.
some water.
No, I don't need it right now. I'll probably wait like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Probably wait until tonight.
Okay.
My thirst takes over, which is why I have the aisle seat at airplanes because I pee a lot.
See, that's also I don't really want to pee a lot.
So you want to be a camel?
Wow. All right. There was a bunch of other Reddits I wanted to get to, but we're running out of time here. I didn't even get to NoFap.
Okay, get to it
What's
right
that?
now.
I'm wondering if I should save it for another episode. No, let's talk about it. Let's
Okay.
talk about NoFap because it's
We definitely have to do another subreddit episode
we
because
absolutely
I
'cause
need
there's a million more that I meant to get to and I didn't. Okay. So I feel it's important to talk about NoFap because The Chosen, the character I play, The Chosen, it's a big part of his lore, right? It was a joke I made the first time I appeared as The Chosen where I said I'm a member of NoFap, and it just kind of kept going. But NoFap is a very real subreddit, and it has over 1 million members, and it's been big for a long time, and it's not like a joke. These are people who truly truly believe like this is a life-changing thing for them. And I'm not gonna sit here and judge it. This is what people are doing, whatever. Now it's a lot of it's all guys. A lot of really young men who believe that no longer masturbating will change their life and make them like borderline, like it'll like give them
powers,
more borderline, like not it's not getting to a fantasy realm, but just like I will be smarter, I'll be have more energy, I'll be more confident, people will like me more. A lot of them, almost all of them are like single guys who are having trouble in the dating scene, and they believe that by no longer masturbating, that will be their solution to eventually finding a girlfriend.
Wait a second. I thought you had to masturbate.
What?
A doctor told me once.
Apparently you don't have to.
What?
I have heard.
I thought men had to masturbate.
I've heard studies that apparently it is good for your prostate to do it.
Right?
Yeah.
But look,
So
that's
they
what this
think
community believes.
if they don't masturbate, they're going to gather all the nutrients and power inside of them, and then when they find their lady, they're going to just.
That is what's funny, is that I guess they believe sex is not going to do the same thing.
I feel like they're going to be all like weird.
They're going to be like sick. They're
I
going to
don't
find
know.
their lady and go, ah.
Yeah, and like
But look, here I found a post here. 3 years of nofap, from a pathetic loser to a successful young man.
Shut up.
27-year-old male here. I discovered nofap 3 years ago while browsing sexy pics on Reddit. Ironically, I know. And because of curiosity, I opened nofap, read a few stories, and told myself, what have I got to lose? My life is already a shit show. And I started. On that day, I was a lazy, pathetic loser with no job, no master degree, no girlfriend ever, kissless virgin. I was masturbating 3 to 4 times a day.
Okay.
And had lots of mental issues like anxiety, panic attacks, and depression.
That is a lot.
After just 1 week of nofap, I felt a difference. I started walking outside, and daily taking care seemed easier. After about 6 months, found a well-paid job, which I never believed I will ever get, but happened. This gave me a lot of confidence, energy, and I felt for the first time in my life appreciated. After a few more months, I decided to start a master's degree because I had so much energy and confidence that I could do it. And it wasn't easy, but I had to push my limits. And it goes on
Makes
like
sense. If the amount of time it took for him to masturbate, he just stopped doing that and spent time on going and living his life.
He gets on to like, after about 500 days, decided it's time to take my driving license and get a car, and I succeeded. I wasn't anymore afraid. I wasn't afraid of anything, and I didn't fear everything like I used to. I gave up taking anxiety pills because I felt strong enough to fight on my own. Finished my master's this summer with maximum grades, and all because of nofap and motivation which it gave to me.
Wow, good for him.
Now, I think it's
Good
great.
job.
I have a theory on it, which is just that like that was very extreme, right? He's saying like he's doing it 3 to 4 times a day. He probably by getting some sense of control over his life,
Yes.
started to gain confidence and change things
Yes,
around.
it's like when you stop drinking or go sober.
exactly.
Yeah, it gives you like, oh, I am focused, I am.
Yes.
But look, so that's why I'm not sitting here like shaming it.
What does FAP stand for?
Yeah.
Masturbating. I don't know, like what.
What?
I that's just what they call it. I think it's a meme term. So like in a comic, if someone's jacking off, the sound things that they would write is like fap.
I love setting Shayne up to explain something. It's
Yep,
my
it really
favorite
sucks.
thing in the world.
Whoa.
I love going, so what does FAP mean, Shayne?
But it's a really like it's a intense community. Like they firmly believe it.
Hey, if they're freaking going out there and living their life to the fullest, I am in full support.
No.
Yeah, I really can't
no.
hate-
But I don't think that stopping masturbating is
No.
good for you.
I'm worried that 1 million people are reading this and are like, if I stop doing this, I will get my
can't.
like I'll get my master's degree. I'm like, no, that's not it.
Well, yeah, get your master's degree, but also, okay, so if 1 million people stopped masturbating, what would happen to the world?
No, I don't know. There's gonna just be like these people walking around like
There's
more
people walking around.
I don't know. But then I also don't want to offend anyone because I know there are a lot of people in there. Like, if you're doing that, good for you.
Look, it's people's body.
Good.
People are allowed to do or not do whatever they want with
Yeah,
their
of
bodies.
course, literally.
Look, I'm not saying I think it's bad or good or anything. I think it's funny. That's ultimately what it comes down to, is that I'm just like, I love that there's a community of 1 million dudes who are like, guys, we got to stop jacking off. We're going to get stronger if we stop jacking off. That's, to me, is funny. And there's a million subreddits, right? Because there's other subreddits that are more like about stopping porn, like about no longer looking at that. But then this takes it to the extreme of like, don't ever jack off. And I'm like, I think it's funny. And that's why I said it as the chosen. Because I'm like, it's such a like, to me, it's such a chosen thing of like, no, I must focus.
Yeah.
I will get stronger if I stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, now I know that joke. You said it so much as the chosen. I've been like, I don't know what that is. And now I know.
Yeah.
It's about masturbation.
Right. Lastly, the last subreddit I'll talk about is our Smosh.
Oh.
There's a subreddit. We have a subreddit.
I think I knew this.
It's got 50,000 subscribers on it.
Oh, God.
Look, they post a lot of stuff on there. There was a lot of appreciation posts when I was looking through for you, Amanda. People really like you.
Whoa.
They love us playing Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
There's like posts being
I
like,
love it.
guys, we need to go and like all the Five Nights at Freddy's videos to make sure we get more.
Sweet.
I know.
That makes me so happy.
I found a post where they were comparing us to they were assigning dog breeds to all of us. They're like, what dog breeds are people?
I need to hear this.
So Spencer, a Shih Tzu, right there.
Cute.
Olivia, a Saluki.
Cute. That is kind of like
Wait.
me. My dog kind of looks like that.
That is so you. Look at your hair. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Amanda, a
God.
Belgian Tervuren.
Wow.
Okay. Lassie?
Ian Heacock's a Jag Terrier. That's fitting.
Yeah.
Very
That's
fitting.
Trevor, Great Dane. I kind of see it.
No.
I think he's. I think I see more.
I think he's a stand-up poodle.
Interesting.
Trevor's a stand-up poodle.
Interesting.
In my opinion.
Noah, a Whippet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tommy, a Borzoi.
Yep.
Yes. Oh my God.
These are very, very active.
These are really good.
Chance, a Pharaoh Hound.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
100%.
Yep, there it is. A Rasha, an Afghan Hound. That looks that's very fitting.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Angela's a bunch here, a bunch of little dogs.
Yeah.
You know, I see it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, she also has a Chihuahua, so I get it.
And then me, Golden Retriever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good about that.
Okay, good.
I don't mind it. There was another one where I think there was another post where they made me a Bull Terrier, which I was like the Target dog. I didn't see that
Absolutely.
You're like one
Well,
of those little white furry dogs with the little gray, pink, little furry eyes and little wet little mouth.
your little wet little mouth. That's because you did that.
as much. I did that character. Mm-hmm. But our subreddit is very. I like our subreddit. I look at it.
You
every
could be
now-
the target dog, but I feel like the target dog is like, hello. That's not
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know the personality. I don't.
You're a
think
little
is
golden
there. Because
retriever.
the Target dog is also the dog from Toy Story, that like chases him down.
you. That's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Wow, I have so many subreddits to check out. I need to
too.
see the mirror one.
oh yeah, Mirrors for Sale is great.
That one's my favorite, I think.
But yeah, our subreddit's cool. You know, I'd say it's pretty positive. It's very nice.
Great. Love nice.
People just
Be
have
nice.
conversations.
Yeah, it takes so much more effort to be mean.
Yeah.
So much more
You
energy.
feel better when you're nice.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really do.
And Reddit's a place that's got all of it. Like it surely just got all of it.
You with that fedora.
Thank
really,
you for sharing
it's tough.
all these Reddit thingies.
Really tough.
There, I shared it with you so you don't have to look at it yourself.
What? We're
No,
gonna
I'm
look
gonna,
at it.
I'm
Okay,
going
good
to look
luck.
at it.
Good luck.
Wait,
Have
we're
fun.
gonna find some weird ones and come back and show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're
Noah,
gonna find
actually,
some.
go ahead.
Actually, yeah, Olivia and
Okay.
I are gonna find
I
some.
join no
All
crap.
right.
I become a member.
Do it.
Actually,
Changed my life.
Do it.
Should
Okay.
I?
All right.
Should I?
You heard it here. Olivia's going to join NoFap. Olivia's officially chosen.
Yes. I'm the chosen.
and on cops.
Olivia, thanks for being here.
Thanks
Oh
for
my
being
gosh,
here.
thank you. Oh my, wow. Looks like I'm running late to my next
She's famous now, and she's on the clock, and she's
Yeah.
going to be on call.
And I'm also a member of the NoFap community, so
Just so busy.
we got a
So busy.
I got a big moderator meetings coming up.
Yep.
Oh my
About-
That's how it works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we will see you later.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Smosh mouth, smosh mouth, smosh your mouth.